Hi, this is Morley and this is the M-Wire. In this video, we are going to look at Canada's reaction to the cancellation of the Keystone pipeline by so-called President-elect Joe Biden. Thank you to my new subscribers. If you haven't already subscribed in this legendary age of internet censorship, please do so, as that would greatly help out the channel. So, Alberta Premier, a premier is basically the equivalent of a governor in Canada, calls on Biden not to cancel the Keystone pipeline. And understandably so. I mean, both sides have invested billions and billions of dollars in this over the last 4 or so years. It's near completion, and Joe Biden has said on the first day of his so-called presidency that he's going to cancel it, which would effectively cost America billions of dollars. Basically, it's the equivalent of flushing billions of dollars down the toilet. Saying nothing of the fact it would increase America's dependency on foreign oil, meaning the Saudi oil. Well, Canada isn't willing to take those losses. Jason Kenney, the Premier of Alberta, has very vehemently stood up to this and said, this isn't overly okay. The Premier of Alberta, Canada, has called on Joe Biden to not stop the construction of the Keystone XL pipeline. On Sunday, Jason Kenney said canceling the project would eliminate jobs on both sides of the border and increase the U.S.'s dependence on imports from OPEC members like Saudi Arabia. That's true. They're going to have to buy oil from Saudi Arabia. Biden has signaled his intention to rescind the permit given to Canada company TC Energy immediately after his inauguration. Kenney said if Biden does not terminate the project, the government of Canada is prepared to take legal action. Understandably so. That's like you go into business with somebody, you're just getting, the business started, as it were, and before you even open the business, one of your partners just dekes out and leaves you holding the bag. That's essentially what this is here. Let's look at the letter from Jason Kenney here. This is very interesting. I am deeply concerned by the reports that the incoming administration of President-elect Joe Biden may repeal the presidential permit of the Keystone XL border crossing next week. My full statement. Doing so would kill jobs on both sides of the border, weaken the critically important Canada-U.S. relationship, and undermine U.S. national security by making the United States more dependent to OPEC oil imports in the future. In 2019, the United States imported 9.14 million barrels per day of petroleum, 3.7 million of which came from Canada. The rest comes from countries like Venezuela and Saudi Arabia, none of whom share the commitment of Canada and the United States to environmental stewardship, combating climate change, or North American energy security. As President-elect Biden Green Jobs Plan acknowledges, Americans will consume millions of barrels of oil per day for years to come. It is in perfect keeping with this plan that the United States energy needs should be met by a country that takes the challenges of climate change seriously. The Keystone XL pipeline also represents tens of thousands of good-paying jobs that the American economy needs right now. This is why major American labor unions who supported President-elect Biden's campaign strongly backed the project, as do First Nations who have signed partnership agreements, and all state governments along the pipeline route. As the Government of Canada has said, building Keystone XL is top of the agenda with the incoming Biden administration. Prime Minister Trudeau raised the issue with President-elect Biden on their November 9, 2020 telephone meeting, agreeing to engage in key issues including energy cooperation such as Keystone XL. We renew our call on the incoming administration to show respect for Canada as the United States' most important trading partner and strategic ally by keeping commitment to engage and allow Canada to make case for strengthening cooperation on energy, the environment, and the economy through this project. Should the incoming U.S. administration abrogate the Keystone XL permit, Alberta will work with TEC Energy to use all legal avenues available to protect its interest in this project. So on the first day of his presidency, he's basically a foreign relations nightmare by kicking Canada in the gonads, as it were, and saying, well, we're just going to deke out of this deal. I don't blame Canada for wanting to go legal on the United States for this. They had an agreement. I mean, an agreement that basically both parties have invested billions and billions of dollars in, and it's estimated that about 60,000 jobs will be lost because of this. I don't think this is a good place to go, given the negative impacts that COVID has had on the economy. Like, what is Joe Biden thinking? Like, the first day of his presidency, he's just going to essentially piss off Canada, and who knows what Canada is going to do to recoup this money. They may retaliate by raising aluminum tariffs. America buys a lot of aluminum from Canada. So the result of this could very well be an impending trade war. This is not a good move by the so-called president-elect. Not at all. I mean, is this just the beginning of, other trade deals that he's going to rescind? Probably. I mean, he's going to send America into a tailspin economically. I mean, we can obviously see this coming, and this is not good. Thank you so much for listening to my video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. The censorship is insane. God bless.